a little bit of money that you're going to get for that job is not worth the commute.
Amen. Amen. And let the church say again, amen. When I say, I remember working in Charlotte Mech and that commute, it was a good 30, 40 minutes. It was, now granted in Charlotte, it was very, if you got to work where you lived, and honestly, when I think about it, my first job, matter of fact, I was offered a job at Southeast Middle School, but I already got the job at Coolwood, which is across town. And if I would have known that commute was like that, I would have accepted the job at Southeast because it was right down the street from my apartment. Because I lived right off of South Tryon. When I moved to Columbia, working at the various schools I worked in, the most my commute might have been was 15, 20 minutes. And it was because whenever you have to cross over, I don't know what Richland 2 is stacked on top of each other. So you have one road, I want to say it's called Kelly Mill Road. Kelly Mill Road has at least 5 elementary schools. If you go all the way down from one end to Bookman Road, so I want to say Langford Road. I might be wrong. I might be saying the wrong school, but it's like almost 5 elementary schools. Imagine if you got caught up in that traffic, the car, because nobody rides the bus anymore. Okay. And I never did understand um, why people worked in Richland too and lived in Lexington or vice versa. I never did understand that why. Like, how much more were you making that you felt the need to make that trek? Like, I didn't understand that. And one thing I admire about, I've always worked where I lived. You have a lot of teachers who don't live where they work. We have a lot of teachers that live downtown. But I like the fact that I go to Publix, I run into students, I run into parents. I don't have parents all up in my face like that. I don't have students all in my face like that. So I don't mind it. I remember people talking about, you don't have the teachers living in communities anymore. Yes, we do. We do a lot more than you think. Um, and it also depends on what school you're teaching at. But I enjoy now, even now, my going to Publix now, don't matter what Publix I go to, I'm going to run into someone either checking me out as far as in the checkout line, like did my cashier, oh, Miss Jenkins, did you teach me? It's a beautiful thing to work in the community where you see the kids and you can see them outside of the classroom. But nevertheless, the stress that you don't have to deal with. And I want to say at one point, the last 2, 3 years, my commute was maybe 3 minutes long, five the most. But if I didn't leave our house at a certain time, you run into that car right line traffic, that school traffic, which will back you up. But y'all, it is so the peace does not compare. All right, so this is my infamous sister cousin Mia, and you have to really weigh how much are you making on this job versus working a job that you're commuting to. You really have to weigh that. And I realize as teachers, I admit now, when I think about it, when I first started in this district, um, it is not it wasn't as competitive as it is now. So because certain districts did not understand teacher pay, teachers were willing to commute back and forth. But my thing, if the pay gap is only like $1,000 or $2,000, are you getting paid more a year? To me, that's not worth the commute. Because when you think about how much you're going to pay in gas, the stress and aggravation of traffic, it's not worth it. Now, if the pay gap is like $5,000 to $10,000, doggone Skippy, you're worth it. And some people like longer commutes. But also, I think about when you have children and after school activities and programs, or if your school as a teacher, and I'm speaking from a teacher perspective, if your school has events that you have to attend every so often, that can be a bit much. So, what I loved about my school, now, despite the fact that last year my school was literally 5 minutes away from my house, it was inconvenient when we had after school activities because the traffic on a particular road I live near is horrendous. So you didn't want to get caught in that. So it was easy for me to stay at the school and catch up on grading or catch up on phone calls or do stuff in my room while waiting to attend an event because it made no sense for me to travel and trek that traffic back and get caught in that traffic coming back to the school. But again, you have to really weigh the options and really, and I'm speaking more to my younger people who don't think about this financially, really calculate how much money you're going to be spending a week, a month in gas alone. And will that equate or be more than what you're going to receive in pay in that commute?